Merry Christmas everyone, it's Mio and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute Christmas display. It's created from a smaller version of perler beads called hama beads, which I bought online, and it's really easy to make. If you have done perler beads before, you'll know that really all you need is a pattern, and once you iron them all together, you can glue them however you want. This piece is designed to sit on top of my laptop so you can be festive while you YouTube. I'll try my best to provide a picture below so you can copy the pattern, but if you're unable to, you can try to watch this video and follow it step by step. And of course, for more videos like these, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. The first thing you'll need is a hama bead board. As you can see, these are hama beads. They are much smaller than the regular perler beads that I use. You can purchase them on hamabeads.com. Now to help me out, I like to put a bunch of beads on my board so that it's easier to use, and I use a toothpick to help pick up all my beads. You want to start off by creating a nose. I put 3 white perler beads around the cross, or hama beads, 2 red ones across from it. You're going to need 2 rows of 7 red perler beads, and right underneath it another row of 5. 2 spaces on each side of the nose. You're going to take 4 dark perler beads, or hama beads, and put them into a square to form the eyes. And now you're going to do 2 spaces above the eye. You're going to take 3 beads to form some eyebrows. This will give your reindeer a much more gentle and happy look. For some pink cheeks, I took 6 pink or blush perler beads and placed them underneath the eye. To get the dimensions right, I took 5 beige hama beads and put them on the side of each eye. This will determine how large the face will be. Then to outline the face, I took 4 hama beads and put them on each side where I put the beige. Above the nose, I put 7 beige hama beads going vertically up. And then there is 6 more darker beige beads going up on top of that, with a total of 13. You will need to line 7 darker perler beads on the very top, and this will outline the very top of his head. To finish the bottom of his face, you're going to put 2 brown just 1 space over, then take 2 more browns and space it 1 space over, and then with 1 space over you're only going to put 2, but they're going to go horizontal, and this is going to form close to where the bottom of the face is going to end. So take 3 hama beads and put them 1 space over, going across horizontally. Take another 3 beads and you're going to space them 1 space down across horizontally, and then just fill across all the way across until both sides meet each other. For the top of the head, you're going to take 5 hama beads going down across diagonally for a total of 6 beads going down diagonally. And again, if you have a hard time following this pattern, I'll provide a picture so that you can just look at it and follow it however you want. On the last bead of the head, you're going to take 3 hama beads and space it vertically down on the same row. Take 3 more hama beads and line them across horizontally on the same last row as the last bead you put on. Now connect the rest of the face. Take 2 hama beads and place them vertically down, space 1 over, and take 2 more and space them down. For the antlers, you're going to count 3 perler beads going diagonally down. Between the 3rd and 4th one, you're going to place 1 bead in between them, and then 1 bead over. You're going to start by going 6 hama beads vertically up to form the top part of the antler. Once you have 6, you're going to take 2 hama beads, or really 1, and you're going to put it 1 space across, and then 1 space over you're going to line 4 hama beads going straight back down. If this gets hard, you can always look at the picture to follow the pattern. Once you have 4 going down, you're going to put 1 hama bead up across in between the 4 hama beads you have. Then 1 space over, you're going to put 2 hama beads going up. And to round off that antler side, you're going to put 2 hama beads going across 1 space up, 2 hama beads going vertically down, that's 1 space over, and then 1 hama bead on the side, but don't close it off completely. 1 space down, you're going to take 4 hama beads and it's going to go across laterally or horizontally. Have 1 bead go straight down vertically, and then 4 hama beads going across, but it's going to be 1 space inward. Keep in mind I'm not following a pattern for this reindeer, I'm just freehanding how I want my reindeer to look. So if you would like your reindeer to have bigger cheeks or taller antlers, by all means you can do that, just make sure it's symmetrical on both sides of the face. Alright, so take one bead and place it one space across, and two more beads, and you're going to line them vertically one space across to connect the antler and the head together. Alright, for your reindeer ear, you're going to take one bead and put it one space across where the 3 hama beads are going up. Take two more beads one space up going across, and 3 beads one space up going across as well. And this is going to form the top part of his ear. Now to form the bottom part of his ear, take 3 hama beads going down, 1 bead going across, another bead going across, and 3 more across to connect it to the head. Rudolph is wearing a collar, so I'm taking 5 black hama beads and I'm laying them 3 spaces down below the head and lining them horizontally across. Take 4 hama beads spaced 1 space up and line them across on both sides. And take another 3, go 1 space up, going across on both sides. To connect the collar to the head, take 1 bead spaced up and 2 beads 1 space over and 1 space up, going vertically to connect the two. So Rudolph has 1 hoof that's waving and 1 hoof that's holding onto the green bar. So for the hoof that's holding onto the green bar, I'm going to take 4 hama beads and line it vertically down, and it's going to line up near where his head begins. He's then going to have 5 hama beads that go up 1 space laterally across or horizontally across, then 4 more beads on the other side going vertically down, and then I just connect both the beads together to form the hoof. Now I know this is kind of hard to see because my hand is blocking where you can see I put the hama beads, but you can see it later and you can kind of get an idea of where it's going to be. Now my display piece has 3 reindeers and 2 of them have both of their hooves holding down the green bar. So to make the other ones, that's really all you have to do is make 2 hooves that are holding the green bar on the bottom. But for Rudolph specifically, I want one of his hooves to be waving. So I just made 1 hoof that looks exactly like the one I made on his right side going up. I just lined that hoof to be right where the blush or his cheek begins. Then just connect the side of that hoof all the way to the bottom, lining up with his other hoof on his right side, his right, or really when you view the screen, it's your left. And by now, the outline of your reindeer should pretty much be done. All you have to do is color it in. And this is how I like to color in all of my hama bead characters. I just take the corresponding color and I just put them all inside the outline space. And I'm going to take my toothpick in a second and just help gently knock each of the beads into place. All the beads that are on the outside, I can pick them up with my toothpick and place them where they need to be, or if I have too many beads, I just remove them and put them back in the box. You really can just color your reindeer however you want it. This is just how I colored my reindeer, specifically how I colored Rudolph. Now, I only recommend this technique if you have a very steady and gentle hand. If you have not very good precision and not very steady hands, I don't recommend this technique because you can actually misalign a lot of your beads. So if you're that type of person, you should put in each of your beads individually with your toothpick. But if you're an expert with hama beads and you have really steady hands, this is actually really much faster way to color in your characters. Now for Rudolph's collar, I colored it in all red, and in a second we'll make some bells for him to tag onto his collar. So for now, just make it one solid color and we'll make it 3D later. Now if you guys notice on my actual Christmas display, Rudolph is holding a candy cane. I made that up last minute after I colored in the collar. So I just went ahead and designed a candy cane here, and I swirled it in with the white and red candy cane colors. It's completely optional. If you just want Rudolph to be waving, that's fine as well. So this is what Rudolph looks like, and here's what an extra reindeer looks like. As you can see, it has a mirror hoof on both sides and a different colored nose. Now to get all the beads to stick together, you're going to need to iron them. So I'm putting on a cookie sheet on top of my character, and I'm going to gently iron these beads together. Unlike perler beads, hama beads only take maybe 3 to 5 seconds to melt together, so don't iron them too long. And once you're done, as you can see when you lift up the sheet, they all stick together and you need to let them cool. Now take 4 yellow beads and iron them together to form the bells on the collar. To create Santa Claus, I'm going to move on a lot faster, but it's essentially kind of the same thing I made Rudolph. So for the nose, it's the exact same nose, but it's pink instead of red. And I also give him the same amount of spacing for his face. So I made the eyes the same spacing as I made Rudolph with 4 brown or black perler beads. I gave him a mustache, and the way I did it is just freehand 2 mustaches that are symmetrical with a tongue down the center. And I also gave him the same eyebrows I gave Rudolph as well. And I just spaced the head out the same size as I spaced Rudolph. So I just counted to see how large and wide the face needed to be. And for the top of the head, instead of having antlers and ears, I gave him a Christmas hat, so I just outlined everything the same way. Now I'm not going to go into detail about how I created every little detail for Santa. I'm just going to show you it in a faster speed. Again, I will make sure I provide a pretty close-up picture of these characters so you can follow along the pattern if you want. In the interest of time, it's just easier for me to show you guys how I created at 4 times the speed. I will say this project overall took me about 3 to 4 hours to complete the whole thing. So even though it's a very easy project to create, it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to actually create each of these characters. Hama beads are perfect for this because I can create a lot of smaller characters and place them all across my laptop. But if you only have perler beads, you might be only able to make one character, and it might be sit on the center of your laptop facing you or be a center of display. But perler beads are just so large that really you can only make maybe 1 or 2 characters at most. Hama beads, because they're so much smaller and leave room for so much detail, you can actually have more characters like I have created. Alright, as you notice here, I have Santa Claus's hand going up on his right side, or essentially the left side as you face the screen. And I do this because I want my Christmas display to be balanced, since Rudolph has his candy cane going up on his left. Now all you have to do is fill in the colors for Santa Claus. I gave him the traditional red and white colored suit, and I gave him a nice white beard, and I'm going to fill in his mittens to be green because I feel like sometimes he has green mittens, but they can be red if you want them to be red as well. Once you're done coloring in Santa Claus, you're going to take a cookie sheet and place it on the very top, and you're going to flat iron all the beads together. If you don't have a cookie sheet, sometimes these Hama bead or perler bead sets come with a cooking sheet. So you're going to melt all the beads together, and once you can see them melt together, it's time for you to remove it. And I'm going to let it sit there for a while so it can cool down. And I like to pat my hand on it because sometimes it curls if you don't. So here, guys, is my Santa Claus that's all complete. You can see the front and the back side look pretty much the same. And here is one of my reindeers, and as you can see, I'm kind of making sure that they are about the same size. To finish off my reindeer, I took the 4 little yellow Hama beads and I hot glued them onto the collar to look like bells. Alright, so now I'm going to actually use perler beads. So here's my perler bead board, and I'm going to connect 3 of these boards together. And as you can see, perler beads are much larger than Hama beads. And I'm using perler beads because it helps save me time to create the green border that all my characters are sitting along. I'm just taking 3 perler beads and lining them vertically down, and I'm just making a really long strip. And I'm going to measure this strip to be the width of the monitor of my laptop. So depending on how large your laptop is, that's going to be how large these strips are going to be. Here I made 4 strips. These can be whatever color you want. I have one that's like a candy cane color, one that's a solid green color, and then I have 2 strips that are just 1 perler bead in diameter. And what I'm going to do is hot glue these perler beads that are 1 strip together. Then you're going to hot glue this onto one of the thicker strips, and you're going to put it on one side of the thicker strip so that there's space in the bottom. Now, taking your hot glue gun, you're going to paste some glue onto the small strip and glue the last thicker strip onto your piece. And as you can see, there's 4 beads that line up on the top, and there's this gap, this space at the very bottom. And I specifically did it that way so that when I put my monitor into the piece, there's a space for me to put it. And you can pick whichever side's your front. I have a green and I have a candy cane striped one. I'm going to use the green one to be my front, but essentially it's going to look the same on both sides no matter what. I'm going to line up my reindeer and my Santa Claus the way I want it, and I'm going to hot glue these characters in the center of my piece. Remember to make sure you hot glue your characters on the very top part where you see the 4 hama beads, not into the gap, because the gap is where you're going to put your computer monitor at. Now, I have a MacBook Air, so it only takes 2 perler beads in width to fit my monitor, but if you have a thicker monitor than that, you should use more than 2 strips of perler beads. You might actually use, 3 or 4 to fit a thicker monitor. And as you can see here, I have a green side and have a candy cane side. I prefer the green side, but if you like the candy cane colored side, you absolutely can, or make them both solid colors. So you can see here, I have an empty gap on the bottom and it will fit into my monitor just like so. I know this was a long tutorial, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this project. I loved how this piece turned out. I think it's so festive and perfect for the holidays. For more videos like these, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram. My username is FlyingNeo. Good luck everyone and have a safe and Merry Christmas. Bye!